Morning, good morning. How is everybody? Dawn, Mary, Rosanna. You guys popped right over from one to the other. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so this is literally like a distract me live, so that'll be great. I just had some other distraction. I ordered Selena a whole bunch of like the little snackies and yogurt melts and stuff. And so they were delivered today. And so she was very excited. Very, very excited. She got both of her little hands full and then was looking down at the tray and took her face down to the tray trying to eat like a chicken. It was adorable. So she likes them both, but she's a big fan of the yogurt melts. Like she wanted to get it all off of her as best as could be. And then my grandpup was making sure that he was standing by so that, he could be on cleanup mode. But my daughter's like, maybe I should just go leave you here and go take a shower real quick. I said, put her in your locker, pull it in the bathroom. And she goes, that's genius. So Selena might be getting snackies while mom gets a shower. Anyways, I'm not sure exactly what we want to do, but I am going today. Yes, I have surgery and this is starting just a little over 3 hours. So I have to leave here like at 1. So that's why I was going to start a little bit early so that if I had to end a little bit early, not that you guys would mind, but it would be fun. So I did something which, I didn't need to, but here, I'm going to take you guys down to the mat so I can show you. 1 hour left. No running over. Yes, I know. So I saw a bunch of these online, and they are literally to make Christmas gifts. I forgot to look up how much it was because I was on the phone with the baby. Let me go look. Because I wanted to see if it was something that I thought was worth the money, and I thought we would have fun checking to see if we thought that they were a good deal. Now, obviously, these are not check glass. They're nothing like that. So it is 1,050 pieces and it's 12.69. Yeah. So I think I ordered one in like the lighter colors, and then this is the one that's the darker colors. So, oh man. Let's see here. Sometimes they package beads like Fort Knox. It has a resealable zipper. It just doesn't want me to unzip it. Okay, so I thought we'd look at everything that was included and see what we thought. Yeah, they were. It was great. She became bound and determined to get me on the schedule as soon as possible because she felt bad about what happened, which it wasn't her fault. It was it was the anesthesiologist. Dang it, I got a bead stuck in. But so she talked to Dr. Mayo because we're still kind of hoping that I'll be able to do the one on my elbow, on the inside of my elbow right. You can't really see it on camera. There's a big lipoma right here. And that's really starting to bug me. And since we've already hit our copay max, there's nothing out of pocket for today. And then, so if we can get the other one scheduled at the end of December, That would be key. So it seems that we have, these aren't exactly round. They're shaped. Or it's just the facets are really cool. Those are pretty. I love dark saturated colors at Christmas time. So I thought these would be good. These are like really flat rondelles. I kind of like that. Where's my caliper? So when I saw this one, I knew I wanted to do this because I wanted to, like, again, much to the nod. So there's 6mm to the nod of, okay, we don't have a almost 4.5. So for those people who don't have a stash yet, I thought that these could be perfect. Turn the light up just a little bit. Because you could get a variation of size and color. And I like this one. This is pretty. I was thinking that you could also use like a ring mandrel, which I know I have one. I don't use it. I have never gotten into making rings. So I just didn't know. So I don't know where it is. But if the bracelet mandrel was smaller, you could use the bracelet mandrel to do like the circle ones. Because obviously it gets larger as you go over. My hubby always takes my mandrel. He comes in here to like help prep for the sale and stuff. Oh, I hate that noise. And he moves everything. So the only thing is that like the circle or the top part is like 4.5. So that would be starting it from a pretty generous size already, and you would have to like take off quite a bit of, maybe if you did like the top, that could be the bottom. Ooh, I just had a thought. These also graduate in size, these little jars. So, but I think we're gonna run into the exact same thing. So, Rosanna, have you ever done the twisty ones? If anybody even knows what I'm talking about, you just take your wire and at the top you make a little loop. It should be, Dorothy. I'll have Brock check on that for me. I'll send him a text once I'm done here. Could you possibly use like your, if you wanted to do a really small one, you could like slowly go around from step to step. The only problem is that I have to kind of do it at an angle because otherwise it squishes the previous row. So that's why that's why I thought the ring mandrel would be good, because you could just slide it down and keep going as you go up. I don't know of another way how to do that. So until I find my ring mandrel, we will just grab one of the snowflake forms. We can make something real quick. Because it has, ooh, this one's flat. That's weird. Only half the bead was made. The other half left it It's just there. I think I would want a bigger one because some of these beads are really big. So I'm going on the big one instead. I also thought that this could be a fun way to be able to like, this one's got like if you were gonna have your, I call them my littles, but yes. Yes, Steve will remember to call you and you're going to let everybody know that everything's kosher. Okay, so we need something small at the base. We may have to pull out, where's my little teeny tiny jar here? There. We'll pull out a few of these. They're not far off from the color. So we have the yellow, we have gold, we have the larger red, we have these tiny dark. These are almost like an olivey green, but darker. So they're not like, and you could do smaller ones if you wanted to do a set. You could do smaller ones with the using the smallish beads, and then you could go over to the other. Here are some like more cherry red color rondelles, which are pretty, and then the little bit brighter green. So that would be the color scheme. There we go. So this would be our color scheme. I don't know why I dumped that entire bag out. So let's just start with the small little bead that helps us get out. I might actually need two of them, two or three of them to make sure that I have enough space. But I only want to use, outside of these little teeny tiny beads, I only want to use what's here, what was included to kind of, which is going to be hard because of course I want to put spacers in. Let's see here. We'll go to the bigger red. And then we use either a spacer. I want to go to the yellow though, I think. I don't want it to be right on top of the same size. That's the only thing, is that some of these kits don't go to the yellow. I just thought that this could be fun so that if you're going to have your grandchildren over, you have enough little kit here to pick through without using your quote unquote good beads, I guess. I don't know. That might sound harsh. Oh, I already had a red there. So let's go down to the green. Now I want to go back down to a little green. And then we can go to the big red. And these are fun, just stacking on the different colors in different shapes. Be cute. That is my alarm clock. Not for when I have to leave today, just typical. Okay. I don't know. That's a little too much variation for your girl. It's just a lot of the same. Then we can do a metal bead on there. And then go to, oh, I already used the yellow. I know. I like these, but they don't all seem to be cut the same way. Some of them are like really squatty, and then some of them are more round, and I don't see that one's squatty, and so is that one's not quite as squatty. But then if we do this green, the gold, that's just bigger than the green, and then we can use one of the beads. There you go. Yes. Wait, what did Beth say about it? Yeah, butter beads are expensive and young kids don't know the difference, so these are perfect. Remember, don't get caught up beading and be late for your point. I won't. Hubby's here. He's watching the clock. So I think because I started with the green, I want the center one on this one to be red, and then we can alternate back and forth. There we go. I like that better. And then you can just go back down. So I think this is a good little set because you, like I said, you get the variation of color. There's like 3 green, 3 red, then you have like the yellow, you have the gold rondelle, and then you have the spacer, which would be pretty. I may not have pulled, may have ended a little bit early. So we're gonna have to go figure out, maybe do the gold on either side. The gold, the red, the gold, and then back to the green. The spacer, the yellow, the red, and the green. And that leaves us plenty of room for a nice loop at the top. So I figured this is a good way. I'm just going to go ahead and roll it up. And it looks like the the second step is perfect. It's just a little bit over. One thing I will mention, because I had it happen to me, make sure that you're watching, what was I going to say now? Oh, that you make sure that when you're doing your loops, they're all going in the same direction. Because sometimes I turn around and yes. I'm so excited. I'm taking Thanksgiving gifts for their table setting and the 2 girls. So making a kit for each of them. Yeah. Well, 11 and 13 are older. So that makes, like, I would do the same. Now that my nieces are older, like, but when we go over for the tamales, when we make tamales with my sister-in-laws, in-laws who have adopted all of us, and we're so sweet to do so. So then I'm just going to basically do the Same pattern. I'm just going to alternate it. I'm going to alternate the greens and the reds. So like here, I had the red there. So now I'm going to do the green over here. We'll do the yellow, the gold. Also, I love doing crafts with little kids, even if they have, we'll call them humble beads. Even if they are working with humble beads, they put together color options and pattern options that I would probably not choose because of whatever like things in my head that are like, oh, those don't go together. So I love making with little kids. So yeah. When we go over for tamale making, I'm going to be taking, I got a couple of these little kits. And they had this tone, and then the other one were like these reds and green. And I could pull these out. I was just trying to stick to the kit, but there's some pretty bicos. So let me finish this one off. And I've loved making snowflakes with you guys this year. It's been great. Like I said, I need to find some kind of mandrel or something that I need to find. I think my ring one is going to be the best, obviously. I'm just afraid that it might, like when it's, what am I trying to say? That it doesn't go too slow because then it would just get stuck in the middle. You know, I could have put some of those in between these beads, and that would have been pretty too. The sides graduation, that's what I'm trying to say. Aw, thanks, sweetie. The thing is that these may look more humble, but put it on a Christmas tree with the lights twinkling away. And I mean, this is winking up at me quite a bit. So imagine with the Christmas trees and other ornaments behind them. And then, like I said, Beth, you should go, if you're going to do crafts with them, you should order yourself a small pack of 2025 charms so that it can become a tradition for you guys. And whenever they're decorating the tree, they'll be able to say, oh, we made this one. And maybe there's a funny little story about something that happened when you were making those ones, or I don't know. Anything that gets wait, I did this one wrong. This last bead was supposed to be red. So I'm going to have to see if I can fix that. Hopefully I can. It's a pretty big loop. So let me roll this back and then I'm going to go see if it will let me swap the bead. I know you're not supposed to like undo. Oh, this is a short one. Like you're not ever supposed to open a loop. But these are really sturdy. I don't know that it's going to let me open it though. Enough. Ugh. Where are my buttons? All I'm doing is taking my flat nose pliers and going around and trying to like flatten it from every direction. Like I said, that's not something you're supposed to do, but I think this is perfectly fine difference to do. There we go. On to the next. Ooh. So like the red and black buffalo check. Yeah, that could be really pretty. One of my favorite that I've done this year is this one. So I ordered all the glass beads. I'm just waiting for the bigger crystals. But yeah, I'm making more of those. My daughter loved those. You guys seem to really like them too. So, because you could even, if you wanted to, you could just put a pink here all the way around and it would be beautiful. Just replace that out. But yeah. Thank you, Georgina. They're not sure what you're trying to do, but what about those beautiful swirls? You just make them longer and pull them out and up. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. I'm trying to think. Ugh. I'm trying to figure out how to get the right size graduation, because I'm trying to think. There has to. I know that Beadalon has. I just don't remember if they're stepped or if it goes down, but they have like the square, the triangle, I believe a circle one, but I just had a thought though of a way to do it. Let me finish this snowflake and then we will experiment for a second because I have an idea of how I might be able to accomplish what I am trying to do. Yellow. Green. And the small red. Yeah, that is the shape that I was trying to do when I was mentioning it, Tina. Yeah, I want the little swirl. There are some people who do like a piece of wire up through the middle too. Yeah, this is a short. It seems like one side of this was short and the other side, like there was quite a difference between the size. So I'm going to have to carefully squish this one. So it stays in place. I've never made one of those like twirly things before. So, do you put the beads on before and then swirl it, or do you swirl it and then put the beads on? That's the only part I'm not quite sure what it would be. Now you got me stuck on that red and black. Every time I look over to the comments, that's what I see. We do the matching Christmas jammies every year, so we've done every form of buffalo check there is, just about. we want to do some kind of gingerbread. Oh, what am I doing? My daughter and I like when we do the like full on onesie look, just because it's fun. Okay, green, yellow, gold. Yes. I was making sure I hadn't messed up my pattern. I think the thing that would make a kit like this better would be if there were metallics in it. If there were spacers included in this, even if they were like the CVC, like the ones that I'm still going back and forth of whether or not I'm going to return them or not, or just use them and take them over for when we do the tamales party. Like I'm thinking I might take those for that, because then again, I don't have to like take all of my spacers over there. I would probably still pull a few of the like smaller, because those ones are 6mm. So I might still pull some of my 4mm daisy spacers in gold and silver to take over there, because I buy those by like the thousands, so it's okay. I have plenty picked. So I might just take those over. I kind of like the doubled up center in the middle like that. It's really pretty. Okay, red, green. And then to do like a smaller snowflake that coordinates with this, you could just do the smaller little ones from your stash. And then you could basically stop at the big bead, or do maybe like one more on the other side of it. And there's nothing saying that you have to, obviously, that you have to do the top and the bottom the same. Like you can do it different. You can just do one full pattern all the way out. And not go from doing that's a mirrored image, right? Yes, I believe that's the term. Okay. Yellow, green, and red. Yes.
I'm bullying you out of love. 30 minutes.
Okay. Love you. You guys are gonna laugh at me. I just realized that I did one of my loops backward, which goes to show you guys why I brought it up. It's because I've done it, and not just like one. And I do not like simple loops, so mine never turn up straight. They always lean from one side to the other. This one squished it just a bit. I did find gold snowflake frames, but you can only buy them 30 at a pitch, which is why I was doing the spray. So there we go. That's this is a big one. This is one you could hang up in your window, like get some of those suction cups where the loop comes out, and hang these really big ones up that way. or hang it in the center of a wreath. Living alarm clock. Correct. What did Linda say? I've almost got my studio set up. Oh, congratulations. In case you missed it, my surgery got canceled yesterday. I don't remember. Yeah, you were on yesterday. That's right. Yes, Heather, you did a live on the whole thing. Okay. So here's what I was thinking. I have these plastic ones that the diameter is almost the exact same of the glass one. Okay. How would I do this without a mandrel? I mean, I guess I could just start. I'm trying to figure it out. Sorry, this is going to drive me nuts until I figure it out. I know I want to use the 16 gauge wire because I want it to be really steady, but actually, let me see if my beads can even fit on 16 gauge. Those ones can. What about the littles? Let's see here. Nope, the little ones don't fit. So I'm going to have to use 18 gauge, which is down here. Holding up this shelf my lovely husband was supposed to fit. Okay, 18 gauge. I don't even know why I'm worried about making it straight. I could have just pulled it out of there. Let's see here. I'm excited to see what you come up with. I can't. Are we gonna get a studio tour there, Linda? Because that would be awesome. So if I started with this being the larger part, and then went down to, this isn't all that much smaller, but it is. And then what could we do for the next smaller one? Ooh, I could maybe use the little cork that goes in those jars. And then I should just about be. Yeah, but sometimes it's fun just to see where the designers that we follow, like how they create. The reason I'm thinking about going from big to small is that I wouldn't have to be quite as worried about squishing the the next row. Come on. There we go. I can go in there. And then pull that one out. This is probably the longest, most inefficient way to do this. I could do tiny ones with these because they don't quite take up as much space. And then go to the, I don't know, Rosanna, you might have to help me on this one because I don't know the best way to do this. Okay. This is why I thought having a ring mandrel would make this process easier. Because it would just graduate in size as you got smaller and smaller. I know they don't have to be perfect. All right. But will the beads go on? Not that I would use this big bead, but yes. Okay, so it will go on that way. Let's try out the littles. Come on. Are you really going to be that stubborn? It looks like it should totally fit on, but those itty bitties do not. And I also got really small up at the top, really bad. Something like that, anyways. I've seen people who have literally done this. You could do a regular spiral. I'm trying to make one of the twirly ones. That's true. Let me try that. But it sounds like I'm going to have to go to 20 gauge if I want to be able to use the smaller beads. So let me try that. That's very good. Okay. Let's start itty bitty so that we can get. We have to start with the loop that it would hang from. And yeah, we can just go there. And then I think we can start the like loop-de-loop down under that and then continue the spiral. Let's see if that works. It might not. I might not be. Nope, that's not going to work. I'll just have to stretch out the center one and use that. Okay, so start itty bitty. Or it doesn't have to be itty bitty. Let's start down here. And just slowly. I don't think I'm gonna be like all crazy that it be right next to each other. That way it can like graduate a little bit faster. And I'm just gonna kind of do it with my fingers now. So that it's, and I know this isn't gonna be the perfect spiral, but that's perfectly okay. Actually, it looks like more of a triangle now, but you get the point. Because if I did it perfectly, we'd still be at like this size as the biggest. Whereas if I go around and just kind of form it that way, and then you can just take your pliers and get that inside loop and just kind of stretch it out a little bit. The bottom got away from me a little bit, but there would be like a tiny one. It's just how you stretch it out. They're supposed to be freeform, so, or that's what I'm telling myself. And then you would just take your pliers and you'd go to the center ring and just bend that up so that you have a place to hang it from. And then we just put on are beads. Oh, you might want to do the beads first, because you see what's happening? It got stuck right there. I didn't think it would happen. I thought, well, maybe we'll get stuck here. You might have to bead it first. Huh. Don't worry, this won't be wasted. I turn these into jump rings. When I have like a mishap like this or something doesn't work out the way I want it to, not that it's not pretty, just the way it is. And if you wanted to, you could take a straight piece and attach it to your hanging loop and bead that as well. So if you just wanted this to be copper and to leave the copper just by itself, you could always, like I said, just do a center decoration that you can see through the ring. Because otherwise, I feel like you're going to have to beat it first. So let's make a loop and test it that way. Okay, so we're going to take that there, and then we're going to have to snip off the end here. Let's start with a fold. And I'm just going to start by doing the smaller beads, because those are the ones that I have the most of. But I think I want to go like this. And again, it's just a very simple pattern. I'm just alternating the red. So it goes green, red, green, then a gold, then red, green, red. Those are really pretty colors next to each other. I really like those colors, actually. I might have to see if they just sell them individually like that, or if they just do these big kits. Because I really like the way this is a. Sometimes you get reds and greens that you're like, wait, what? Why did they think that those would be good in a kit? But other times you get nice color matches. Red, green, red. I'm trying to string it. That's why I just went with a simple pattern. So we can finish it off, because I've got to go soon. And when I said I was going to go live, I promised that I wouldn't go over. Red, green, red. The only thing that you have to be mindful of if you beaded it first is that when you start, you want to make sure that you leave space so as it goes into the round, it doesn't get like caught up or a crystal get break a crystal, stuff like that. Red. This is something I like about going live. Somebody has a question and it starts with, it's the rest of us thinking about it. And I bet by the time my surgery's over, somebody will have found the easiest way to do this and message me. And if you do, please message me. Because I'd love to know like what you used as a mandrel or something of that. Okay, last little bit. Because I want to make sure that I leave room at the top for spacing. Make sure it doesn't get too far down. Okay, and gold. I'm gonna end with gold. Now, I want to start up top. I need one of my clippies so this doesn't fall off. Or I will just turn a very small round at the bottom. There we go. Okay, so we need to start at the top. We need something small to go around, or larger to go around. Here's my largest mandrel, but you need to start small, Heather. I just said that, and then all I'm doing, if you see, is I'm like spreading apart the where the beads. Come on, don't be. Put some more beads down. I don't know that I'm going to figure this out in time, but it's okay. Like I said, if not, one of you will have figured out like the perfect mandrels and will let me know. Because in case you guys don't know, I learn as much from you guys as you guys tell me you learn from me. Come on, stay up. Don't think that we got it quite as tight as it should have been at the top, but that's not too shabby for a first go round. And then I would just, what are you looking for? Your cut. And I'm just going to fold the end over and squish it so that my beads don't fall off. I don't know, maybe this is Linda's first project in her new studio, is to teach us Americans the proper way to do this. Like I said, I don't think this small is what I would have liked it to be, but that's okay. Practice makes progress, right? Put the loop right on top. That's not too bad. It's just one of the long trees. My loop looks horrible because I just tried to do it and I don't like the way it looks. So I will re-loop this real quick. I have too much wire at the top. There we go. That's better-ish. And then you can just mess with it a little bit until you get it the way you want it to look. I'm going to be futzing with this, that's for sure. So there you go. Beth makes beautiful icicle ornaments. She's very good at them. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it'll probably get cut off, but you know. There we go. Yeah, the blue ones, right? I don't know. I'll have to go through and read these comments later while I'm waiting to see. Actually, use a tool that makes spirals. I can't remember the name. Okay, I'll have to fix it. All right, we'll figure it out. But I gotta get going so that I can check in and everything on time. Thank you so much, you guys, for keeping me distracted as I got up to surgery time. I'm good. I'm good. It's gonna be good, and that will keep you guys updated as to how I'm doing in Beading Besties. So if you're not a member, you should be. But yeah, love you too. I will see you guys on the other side, and you know I'm going to be back to my bead room as quickly as I possibly can. So as always, guys, happy beading.